Faith does not make things easy. It makes them possible. People think that saying I'm going to have faith, or people telling them to have faith, thinks it's going to make the situations or scenarios or what you're going through easier. No, having faith doesn't technically make it easier. It makes it possible. It makes you know and understand, if you truly do have faith, that everything's going to be all right. Because faith is an action word. It proves that you believe. It's the actual, even though it's a word, believe is like a mindset. Faith is kind of like a mindset, but it's like the middle part. And then the action that follows the faith is the bridge between belief and what happens in reality. And that's what the faith is, a verb to go to that. And it just shows that you trust, whether you trust in God or you trust in the universe, whatever your belief is, or you have faith in a person. You have faith in your friend, that you can trust them, that they're going to be loyal, that you can depend on them. Or faith on your significant other, that they're not going to cheat on you or do you wrong. But it's stepping and taking action when you don't have certainty. So many people act out of fear. They do things based out of fear, which means they're worrying. They're like, I don't know what to believe. That's that fear. I don't know what to do. I'm frozen. But faith tells you to trust without knowing, to step forward anyway. You can't see the next step. You might be falling off a cliff, but you have faith that you're not. So you take the step anyway. And is it going to be easy having faith to still take that step? No, the step's not easier, but the step's possible. You are allowing yourself to step. You're not pinned down by fear or doubts or anything like that. You believe. You have faith. Like, I keep using the same word, faith, but that's what it is. And it's taking the next step anyway and not having certainty. But so many people can only act out of certainty, and then they wonder why the things in life never unfold in their ways, because they're never taking the chance. It's a risk, but with risk comes reward. That's why faith is rewarded, whereas being fearful is never rewarded. Like, fear is like you live with regrets. So fear is tied to regret. Faith is tied to risk, but risk is tied to reward the majority of the time. Because even when you don't get the reward right away, you learn something. And wisdom and learning is the biggest reward of all. You're growing. You've become more intelligent. You've become more resourceful. You've become more resilient. So I don't know why people hide away from failing or pain or shortcomings or mistakes. You need them to be better, to be more versatile in life, to learn, to grow, to help others. A lot of the greatest stories of success people, or when we're growing up, we love listening to stories from our parents or uncles or grandparents, aunts, people that's gone before us, because they're full of wisdom, because they made mistakes, or they did something fun, or they had fun college stories, or they had fun work stories. And we look back and laugh, but were they laughing in that moment if it was something bad? Probably not. You probably have stories now when you can look back at your childhood or high school or college, depending on your age. Heck, if you're older, maybe even your 30s, 40s, 50s, you don't know. And you can look back and laugh now, but maybe it was a scenario where you thought your life was over and when it was happening. But you kept going. And even if you didn't just sit there and say, I have faith, I'm gonna keep going. The fact that you made it to the next day is faith enough. You didn't give up, you didn't quit. You didn't just throw your hands up and let things happen. You still moved to the next day. So faith isn't this like grandiose like thing that happens. For some people it is, in some situations it is, because all you have is faith. But I'm saying, like, you can go cry on your pillow tonight, but as long as you make it to the next day, that's a form of faith in a way. If you're not being asked to make a decision right now. Now, if something's like you have to move right now or stay put, and staying put is out of fear and moving is out of faith, and you stay put, then you didn't act out of faith, even if you make it to the next day. But if it's just like you didn't give up, you didn't, off yourself or something. So anyway, faith is just making things possible. It makes you continue the journey. It makes you go to the next step. It makes you go to the next day. It makes you go to the next destination. It makes you go, a step further, literally, physically, because you're taking that action. You're moving, you're believing, you're trusting in God or the universe or in yourself or in somebody near you, that everything's going to be all right, and that you taking that step, no matter what happens after, no matter the consequences, you're going to be better for it, even if you don't see it right away, even if you don't see the results instantly. And yeah, it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make the heartbreaks any easier. It doesn't make the failures any easier. It doesn't make getting fired or getting kicked out of your house or being homeless or any of that. It doesn't make any of that easier, but it makes it possible. It makes it possible that you survive to see another day and continue to get better, smarter, faster, wiser, and all that good stuff. So hope you got something from this message. This was Consistency Day 270. I post every day, so if you got anything from this, it was motivational, it challenged you, it made you think different, I encourage you to like, share, and comment, and subscribe for more. And other than that, I wish you all peace and blessings on the journey.